It was June. Bright sun rays rained down on my head. A blue sky provided the backdrop for a light wind blowing through some majestic trees, not enough to impress them. At the train station, I waited for a train that would bring me to my university in Leiden for one of my final seminars. As I ate my second breakfast, consisting of 1 vegan frikandelbroodje and 1 cup of super hot, strong and not particularly tasty coffee, I checked my phone to read up on some news headlines. On the first page of my news app, it said at least 27 Palestinians killed by Israeli fire at Food Point. Had I not been following any news for the past months, had I only now learned about the situation of Palestinians in Gaza, I would have been shocked. I would think that surely this attack on citizens trying to collect food would lead to a strong reaction by Israel's allies, of which my country, the Netherlands, is one. Instead, from reading the headline, I knew enough. I put my phone back into my pocket and stared into the distance, numbed by a strange mix of shame, hatred, and despair about the world I had come to live in. Susan Sontag wrote that we experience emotional anesthesia when we are continually confronted with war images. What this masks, according to her, is our real relations to what we are seeing. The privileges that allow us to live our lives in the way that we do are dependent on the suffering of others. Is that true? Are my privileges, the things I am able to do and enjoy in my life, tied to the suffering of Palestinians? I think back to a time when I had to be in The Hague for my studies. As I walked out of the train station, I heard chants. There seemed to have gathered a large crowd nearby, protesting, and soon I learned they were in front of the Wijnhaven building of Leiden University. From what I was able to quickly look up on my phone, activists had blocked the entrance to call for an academic boycott of Israel. The call seems reasonable. Universities, after all, can play a crucial part in raising international pressure on state actors that violate human rights, like they did in the 1970s with the South African apartheid regime. Or more recently, Russia's invasion of Ukraine led to a nationwide academic boycott, 8 days after the act. But the university board, this time, had something else in mind. As I approached the protesting crowd, more and more police vans were rushing to the area. A group of masked officers, heavily armed, ran to the side of the building, where they circled a group of activists, and they started beating them with batons. Within the larger crowd in front of the building, a smaller group was now being kettled, and the police started arresting activists one by one. That day, at least 5 people were beaten unconscious, and at least 20 were injured. According to the university board, calling the police had been necessary. Protests need to follow the house rules. Otherwise, of course, students like me cannot write their thesis in peace.